everybody, my name's Sarah and I'm from Derby County Community Trust. So today we're going to be looking at a nice healthy recipe for breakfast. It's a non-cook recipe, so it's great. I've got quite a big jar here, so I'm going to make it for my family as well, so we can all share it. First things first though, before we get started, could you make sure if you've got long hair, if you could tuck it behind, tie it up, long short sleeves if possible. And also I have washed my hands outside, but especially at the moment, really important to have clean hands, so I'm just going to pop some hand sanitizer on. So we've got lots of lovely things in our breakfast jar. You don't have to use a jar, it's great to carry around with you, so I've just brought one of these in to show you. So one of these is great as well, or any plastic tub you've got. So we are going to be putting this in the fridge overnight, so whatever's easiest for you. It's great to have a breakfast at home, but also if you're on the go, when things are a bit more normal, you're on the way to school or you're going to college or work, put these in your bag and they're brilliant to have on the way or when you get to wherever you're going to. So I've got my jar here, nice big jar. Like I say, I'm going to share this out tomorrow morning. So I've got a few ingredients here. I have been using frozen fruit today, which is brilliant. You can buy this in the bag, so I don't know if you can see here. I've got some blueberries, so I'm going to pop that back in the freezer when I get home. And I've also got a mix here it's a smoothie mix actually, but it's actually got bananas and strawberries in. So again, it actually works out quite a lot cheaper than actually buying the fresh fruit, and it's got as much goodness in there. This recipe is great for using up bits and bobs of fruit that you've got at home. So as well, you can use fresh fruit, you can use tin fruit, but if you are using tin fruit, just watch out it's not in syrup and it's just in the natural juice, because that's got a lot of sugar in there. So we'll get started. So what I'm going to do is make some layers in here. So I've got my fruit, as I've already said, so really important to have our 5 a day. Mix it up, get lots of different colours in there. So I've got my blueberries. People do call these a superfood, but all fruit and veg is amazing for all different reasons. So they're all superfoods. So different colours, lots of different things in there. So I've got my strawberries and bananas in there. So it doesn't matter if they're still a little bit frozen, that still works just as well. I've got my Greek yogurt, which I love. You can use this in so many different things. That is great. It's part of really good for our calcium, but also for our protein as well, to keep us nice and full. I've got my honey, nature's sugar. So this is great because it is a natural sweetener. We don't need loads of it, and it's a lot better for us than processed sugar. So I'm going to be using a little bit of that. Got my cinnamon here, which is a lovely flavouring, great on pancakes, great in cakes, great in loads of things. And also my milk. So I've got my semi-skimmed milk here. So if you're over 5, semi-skimmed is perfect. You don't need full fat milk, you get all the goodness, all the calcium from your semi-skimmed. So I'll just put that there, and I'm going to start getting creative now with my layers. So the first thing I'm going to do, I nearly forgot about my porridge oats. That is the main ingredient, we'll be stuck without that. So this is our porridge oats. We are going to put these in without cooking them. So this is great for our energy, carbohydrate food, and we're going to make this into some layers in the jar. So first thing I'm going to do is move my hand sanitizer out of the way. I'm going to get my spoon, and I'm going to start off by putting a little layer of my yogurt in the bottom. Like I say, I've got quite a big jar here. If you wanted to use a jam jar, your plastic tub, whatever you want. So just going to put a little layer of my yogurt in here. So this is for a few of us. So the jam jars actually are perfect. If you've got an empty jam jar that you've washed out, that is a perfect size for one person. So get a nice clean spoon and get my porridge oats. And I'm just going to try and get this nice and level, keep it nice and pretty. But the really good thing about this is it doesn't matter how it looks. Once it's in the fridge, it's all going to sort of mush down a little bit. But I'm going to try and make it look nice for you today. It's still going to taste delicious however it goes in. So I'll just pop that in there. And I'm going to start with a layer of my blueberries. Pop these in. These are still a little bit frozen, but that is quite good because they will sort of defrost in the fridge and release those juices. So just put a few of those in there. I'm going to do one layer of those. I'm just going to put a little tiny squeeze of honey in there. There we go. Not too much, just a little bit, just to give it a little bit of flavour. So got that in there. Next layer, back to our yogurt. So scoop that in again. Can you see how the layers are going to start coming through? And what happens, the liquid in the fruit and the yogurt actually soaks into the oats, because you might be thinking, oh, raw oats. That's why we leave it in the fridge overnight. So this is great to make during the day. You could make it for the family, you could have pots for each of you, or do a big jar like I've done here today, and have it all ready in the morning for you. I know mornings can be quite rushed, so it's good to have something that you can just grab and go. So I'm just getting my strawberries in there. There we go, they're quite chunky. These are frozen. So if you were at home and you got fresh strawberries, you could always cut them in half. If you're using things like grapes, really important, especially if it's young children, just chop them in half just to sort of make sure that they're not going to choke on those. There we go. So I've got a few things in there. I'm going to put one more in. So I've got my strawberries and banana on that layer, looking good. I'm going to put another little squirt of honey in there, not too much, and that's all going to soak in. Next layer is our oats. Just bring that a little bit closer so I don't spill it everywhere. There we go. And again, just put another little layer in there. There we go. So that's looking nice. Can you see the layers beginning to come through on the sides? So that is looking quite nice. But like I say, this is absolutely great for using up any fruit that you've got at home. So just chop it up. Again, your tinned or your frozen is also brilliant. I would just watch out for citrus fruit. If you're putting anything like oranges in there, sometimes it can make the yoghurt curdle a little bit, so perhaps I'd avoid those. Melon's beautiful in here as well. So there's all sorts of different things you can do. So I've got another layer of my blueberries there, looking good. I might put a few more in because these are one of my favourites. There we go. So in we go. I'm just giving it a little squidge down. I don't want to squidge it too much. See all the layers coming through there? That's looking nice. So next layer of yogurt. There we go. Going to pop that in. Feeling very creative and artistic with this. It's almost like an art project. There we go. Put it in there. There we go. So in it goes. There we go. Looking nice. And I'm going to go back to my strawberries and my banana. So in they go. Oh, we're getting near the top now. Pushing them in. There we go. And you can see how it's almost holding its layers, where it's sort of starting to go into the porridge. There we go. I think I'll try and squeeze another couple of bananas in there. So again, fresh bananas, great. I'm just using the frozen fruit just for ease today. So again, if you are chopping up any fruit or veg at home, remember our crab hand and make sure you've got an adult with you as well. So squidge that in. I think I'm just going to put a little bit more yogurt on there to finish it off, and a sprinkle of porridge oats because I don't want it too full, because I know what will happen. I won't be able to get the lid on it, and we don't want that. There we go. So a little bit more yogurt, a little bit more porridge, because carbohydrates, our energy food in the porridge, is fabulous. Gets us started for the day, gets our bodies and our brains moving, ready to get learning, get moving around. So there we go. Last little layer of porridge. I'm just pushing it down there. And I'm actually going to put another little bit of yogurt on the top. Use my other spoon to spread that out, I think, just to stop it sticking. Or you can see it's just sticking a little bit there, but that doesn't matter. So put that on there. I'm going to finish it off with a squirt of honey. There we go. And that's going to sink in there. And also, I've not put this all the way through. This is totally up to you. This is cinnamon, or allspice is really nice as well, that you can pop in there. So anything that you like that gives it a little bit of flavouring. Cocoa powder as well is absolutely great. As long as it's the natural cocoa powder and not the one with loads of sugar in, that'll give you a really nice chocolatey taste, but in a really healthy way. So I'm just going to sprinkle this on the top. There we go. Just put a little bit. And don't forget, you're going to be mixing this all up. So it is going to be in the fridge overnight. So once I've done this, I'm going to pop it in there. And if you leave it, as you can see, pop the lid on there. There we go. You can see the layers. What will happen, it's all going to slightly blend into each other. It's all going to soak into it. But as well, if you wanted to, with our milk, we can put a little dash in there. So we'll just put a little dash of milk in as well, if you like it slightly wetter. So you can see how it's gone there. It will soak in, but the milk will just give it that extra tang, a little bit like cereal. So in it goes. Let's see if we can see it pouring through, just dribbling through there nicely. So lid on, just shut it up. There we go. And that is our healthy breakfast jar. So I hope you enjoy those. Really good, in the fridge overnight, ready to go, set you up for your nice healthy day. Getting our 5 a day in there and all the good stuff that we need to keep us going. So thank you very much and see you soon.